Was this world created by a loving creator who had our best interest at heart, who wanted us to thrive and become better visions of ourselves, who wanted us to learn, to understand, to expand our awareness? Or it was created by a selfish creator who wanted us to be stuck at a low level of consciousness and understand nothing, so that he can control us however he wants? This is a very important question, guys. This is a very, very important question. We do not have a lot to work with. We've just found ourselves conscious. And since we became conscious, we've been trying to figure out what the hell is going on. What is life? What is existence? Why are we here? Why are we self-aware? What are we supposed to be doing? Why do we feel the way that we feel? Why do we like some things and we don't like some things? Why are we the way that we are? We don't have a lot to work with. We just have to look at our own personal experiences. What am I going through in my own life? Do I feel like life has been fair to me? What are other people going through? Do I feel like when they suffer, they deserve to be suffering? What are other conscious beings going through? Because it's not just humans who are having experiences in this world. Animals are also having their own experience. So what are they going through? So when I look at everything that I can work with, does it make sense for me to conclude that this was created by a loving being? I've watched many movies where there was a kid who was a psycho. Found that this kid likes to draw pictures depicting violence. Found that in the picture, the mother is stabbing the father. In the picture, someone lost their head in a car accident. In the picture, there's a lot of blood. Can you say that a healthy mind would want to create something like that? Would you say that the kid is healthy? The kid is healthy. The kid is just creative. The kid is loving. Was this world created by a loving God? Does it make sense? You see, this is what's really being asked. Does it make sense to believe that this world was created by a loving God? That's really what's being asked. Because we don't have a lot to work with. You might say, yes, Benedictine. The reason why I believe that is because not everyone is suffering. Yes, in some countries there's wars, but look at how many countries that are not dealing with war. Yes, some people are poor, but look at how many people are not poor. Yes, there are some people who just got involved in a car accident, but look at how many people are driving without a problem. Some people have never been involved in a serious accident. They've been driving for more than 40 years. They've never been involved in a serious car accident. Yes, there are some people who are in hospitals who have no hope. They've lost all hope. Some of them don't have money to pay for their treatment. Some of them do have money, but no one is giving them hope. They are suffering every day. Their children are suffering. They wish that they survive so that they can be able to take care of their children, because they know that if they died, no one was going to take care of their children. But how many children have parents? Now this brings us to my next question, which is a very important question. If we lived in a village, maybe there was like 5,000 people living in that village, but one of the people who live in the village, a child, had to suffer every day for everyone to be happy. Meaning that the village wouldn't exist if that child wasn't there suffering. So for the village to exist, there has to be a child that is suffering, that's in agony every day. Will that mean that whatever created that village is good? Is sacrifice good? This reminds me of this story that I read when I was a kid about the people who were living in this village. It has not rained in years, and there was famine because there was no rain. So they ended up deciding to sacrifice a child. So they picked this child, they started giving him food, like he wasn't given a lot of food, but they started to give him food, so that he would be fed. Is that good? Should one person be sacrificed for the sake of many if they don't want to be sacrificed? This is a very important question. If you've never truly suffered in life, we do struggle. We do struggle every day. But there are people who are really suffering, bro. If you've never truly suffered, you don't understand what it's like to suffer. There are people who have never suffered, bro. Like, I know people that have never truly suffered. They've never been sick. They've never slept in a hospital. They've never experienced real heartbreak. They've never lost anyone that they were very close to. They've never had to deal with hunger. Like they've been protected from a lot of things. Really, it's like they've been protected from a lot of things. It's so hard for you to put yourself in another person's shoes. I'm gonna give you a very simple example. I remember my cousin when he went through a breakup, and he didn't want to do anything. He didn't want to eat. He didn't even want to go out. I would be laughing at him like, dude, because of a girl. And then I went through it, and I was like, wow, I understand. Like, I get it now. Like, if you've never really been through something, you probably won't understand. That is why, if you've never been suicidal, like for an example, and you hear that someone ended their life, you'll be like, really because of this. You don't know what kind, you don't know how they were feeling. Like, you don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to you. We are very good at, we like to judge. Like, if there's something we're very good at, is judging. We look at ourselves and be like, yeah, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't do what they did. If I was in that situation, I wouldn't even cry. I wouldn't even stress. I wouldn't even think like this. I wouldn't even think like that. No, you've never really been in that situation. Is this world a creation of something that is loving, something that wanted what is best for its creation, or it's a creation of a cycle. We just wanted to create chaos, suffering, despair. You might say, no, what if suffering is beneficial to us, right? What if suffering is beneficial to us? And we don't know that yet. If you've ever owned a dog, you know that dogs don't, I mean, some dogs, would want you to wash them, but most dogs don't want to be washed. They don't know that that's what's best for them. They probably think that you are punishing them. Most dogs don't want to be taken to a vet. They don't know what you're doing it for them. So some people might say, what if suffering is necessary and suffering is beneficial to us? We just don't know that. Now I would say, wouldn't it be better if it was explained to us? Wouldn't we as humans want to communicate with our dogs, with our pets? Oh, this is best for you, actually. Like, I'm doing this for you. I'm not just torturing you. Because it feels like torture. If it feels like torture, that's how it's going to be perceived. And it's going to be torture, even if you are being tortured for what is best for you. You see? But in your direct experience, you are actually being tortured. Even if something is going to come out, that something good is going to come out of your suffering. But you will still look back and be like, I hate that I went through that. Maybe you won't even be able to see the connection between where you are in life and what you've been through. So wouldn't it be better if it was explained to us why we go through the nonsense that we go through as sentient beings, if we were respected enough to be trusted? It really feels like people are making excuses for life being bad. Like, no, you never understand God, You're trying to understand the things of God using your human brain. But like, well, do you understand the things of God? Or you're just undermining me. You're just undermining my intelligence. You don't believe that a human being can be intelligent enough to judge things thoroughly and understand the highest truth about these things. So you look at yourself and be like, I'm too damn limited. I can't even judge life because of how limited I am. So you assume that everyone is as limited as you are. But some people are actually more conscious than you are. Because there are people who are more conscious than you are. You can't assume that everyone is operating at the same level of consciousness. No, some people are operating at a very low level of consciousness. And some people are operating at a very high level of consciousness. Shouldn't we as conscious beings be the ones who are judging life because we actually can? Isn't that how we live life, actually, by judging? You should be able to judge. If there's a person in your life who's treating you like trash, you should be able to judge him and be like, okay, I don't like how you're treating me. I think you're a bad person. I don't even want you in my life anymore because of how you're treating me. I mustn't be like, okay, it's just life. I must just accept everything. Whatever life is throwing at me, that's good. I mustn't decide for myself to leave a relationship because, life made that relationship happen. So let me just stick with this person. No, I must be the judge of life as a conscious being, since I'm experiencing life from my own perspective. So I shouldn't be like, I mustn't value my perspective. No, I must value my perspective. So if I think that the creator of this realm is evil, that's my perspective. That's what I truly think. I mustn't be like, I just don't understand. Really? Or what it really makes sense is to actually trust myself. we have seen a lot of signs that this place isn't good. Something about life, like since I was young, there's something about life that never really felt right. Since I was a kid, I always get this feeling that something is wrong. Something is wrong, and I was not supposed to realize that. See, I was not supposed to see that something is wrong, but something is definitely wrong. There's a reason why when you wake up, as soon as you open your eyes, you experience fear, anxiety. When you go out, anxiety. When you meet a stranger, there's anxiety. When you find yourself in a situation that's new to you, there's anxiety. Why? You can feel it that something is just not right. Just because this is the only world that we know doesn't mean that it's good. It's like if you had no options when it comes to dating. You'd think that the person that you're with is, even if they suck, you think they don't suck. Because, well, you don't have options. So the relationship that you have with that person is going to mean a lot to you. So even if they're abusing you, they're mistreating you, they're making you feel small, they're making you feel unloved, they're making you feel unwanted, you still, because it's, you've never, let's just say this is the only relationship that you believe that you can have, like that's it. Like no one else is going to love you, like that's it. So it's gonna feel like that's right. Like, okay, the relationships have problems, relationships have challenges. So yeah, but really, it's because you don't have options. Because if you really did have options, you probably wouldn't have chosen that person in the first place. You probably would have left that person like right away after realizing that there's too many red flags. We need to be honest about what we're experiencing here. We need to be honest. I know it's not easy to be honest. This is the only world we know. It's not easy to be like, yeah, I think the world is trash, bro. I think it's always been trash. I think I just didn't realize that the world was trash because I didn't want to realize that the world was trash. I wasn't ready to acknowledge that. But everything since I was young was actually telling me that this world is trash. Now, this doesn't mean that because the world is trash, I must leave the world. No, it means that I must acknowledge the truth about it and then try to learn everything that is possible to learn in order to have power, I guess. Not in this room, but then have enough awareness, basically, because knowledge is power. Like, I must know enough. You see, I must know what I can know. You see, I mustn't tell myself more lies. I mustn't believe the lies that the world is trying to tell me. You see, if they come to me and tell me that life is a gift, I should ask myself what that actually means and what a gift is, what a gift should look like. I mustn't be like, oh, it's a gift, and even though it doesn't feel like a gift, even though everything tells me that it's not a gift. You see? Because parents, when they have children, they believe that they're giving their children a gift. It doesn't matter if their situation is bad. You see? A parent will have a kid, even when they're really broke. Find that the parent is totally broke, but they're having a kid. And they believe that they are giving that kid a blessing. When they do things for the kid, they believe that they weren't actually obligated to do these things. Like, it's not the things that they were supposed to do. You see? This reminds me of a joke from Chris Rock. He was talking about Parents will be like, yo, I take care of my kids. Like, yeah, you're supposed to. Like, why do you brag about things that you're supposed to do? Like, who told you to have kids? You know what I'm saying? I take care of my kids. I raise my kids. Well, yeah, you're supposed to. You're not supposed to be abusing your kids. You're supposed to be raising them well. You're supposed to be giving them the world. They're your kids. You brought them into this world. They didn't ask you to be brought here. So you can't just, you'll be evil if you brought kids into this world so that they can suffer. And you feel like they should, they are the ones who are responsible, when they're little, like for freeing themselves from suffering. Like, it's you. So we must be intellectually honest. If someone tells me life is a gift, I must think deeply about what they're saying, what they're implying. What is a gift? Is it something that you can return? Is it something that comes with a lot of responsibilities? Responsibilities that you didn't want in the first place. It'll be like, if you've never said that you wanted a child. Just let me use this example. Someone left a child at your doorstep and wrote a message saying that yeah, that child is yours and that child is a gift. Like, no, raising a child is not easy. The child is going to cry at night. You're going to wake up at night, have to try to figure out a way to calm down the child, right? Which is not easy. The child is going to want food. The child is going to want clothes. Like, it comes with a lot of responsibilities. So you can't say it's a gift if that gift wasn't even asked for. So it can only be a gift if someone asks for it, because that means that they're also ready for the responsibilities that come with it. You see, it's not like as humans we just exist and that's it. There are no things that are required from us. There's suffering here. If you don't do anything, there's suffering. You see, if you don't eat, there's suffering. If you don't bath, there's suffering. If you don't work, there's suffering. Even if you do work, there is suffering. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are a lot of uncomfortable things that human beings go through just because they were born here. So it doesn't make sense to say that this is a gift. See? So we must think as intellectually honest as possible so that we can see the deepest truth about everything, other than believing the lies that the world is trying to teach us. You see? You look at what you're experiencing in life. I know that we like to be optimistic because of our emotions. A lot of people are doing things that are not working because of emotions. A lot of people are with people who really do not love them, and everything tells them that these people that they're with don't love them, but because of how they feel about them, they still stick with them. You see, they project their feelings onto others, and it's normal actually. Like, I've seen that a lot. Find that a person loves another person and they believe that person feels the same because of how they feel, right? So you have a crush on someone, you can't sleep thinking about them. Every time you think about them, you smile. Every time you see them, you smile. You assume they feel the same way because of how you feel. You even feel like you kind of like deserve them because of how you feel. You see, so it's what humans do. So they project their feelings into life. So if they feel like this should be good, then it is good. That's how they must look at it. It's emotions that are misleading people. It's like religious people who really love God, they believe that God is good. God is good all the time, God is good. It doesn't matter what the dude does. You could decide, like if God actually did exist and he decided that he's going to torture half of the people in the world, he's just going to randomly pick the people that he's going to torture, they will believe that he's good. Like he has a plan, everything is happening for a good reason, and that's what we must believe, even if there is no good reason, even if the guy is just a psycho and that's it, he's just a psycho. There's no other motive behind what he's doing. We see natural disasters happening and we want to convince ourselves that, God knows what is. What if it doesn't? What if it's just the way things were supposed to be? There's no meaning behind anything. There's a reason why every religion teaches about heaven, right? Some kind of like a good afterlife. That tells us how horrible things are here. You see, if you are living in a place that you really like, you don't want to move. Even if there's a place that's better, and this is what's crazy, even if there's a place that's better, you're not even going to be like hoping that one day, you want to enjoy where you are because bruh, let me tell you this. If you're in a relationship right now and you're with a person, that person is not perfect, but you're enjoying the experience, like you love this person, it feels right to be with them. You do know that you can get someone who's more perfect. You won't want to go and date the other person. If you are actually happy, you would want to cling to that person that you already have because that person is making you happy. Don't be every day you'll be thinking, there's gonna be a better place. There's gonna be a better person. Yeah, one day there's gonna be a better. No, you wouldn't even think about that. You're gonna enjoy what you have. You're gonna appreciate what you have. You see? But people be talking about heaven. I'm suffering here, but one day I will go to heaven. Why would you go to heaven? What will take you to heaven? If this nonsense was created, don't you think that whatever created this will probably want to create a world very similar to this, rather than creating heaven? Some of them would talk about hell as if there's a conscious being who actually deserves to go to hell and burn for eternity. No one deserves that. It also, it shows us a lot about how you think as a person to even believe that. To even think that is fair. Like, God doesn't send anyone to hell. It's people who send themselves to. No. He sends people to hell. No one will willingly go to hell if hell actually did exist. No one will be like, I want to go to hell. Let me go to hell. They'll be like, it's because of your actions, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, because I don't agree with him, so you must send me to hell, so I'm sending myself to hell. That is like if I kidnapped someone and I kept them in my room and I said they must do something that they're not comfortable doing. And if they don't do it, I punish them and I say, well, it's not me who's punishing you, it's you, because you're not doing what I'm saying. Like, you should think honestly, people. Like, seriously, like, you think like children sometimes. It sucks. You must think as honestly as possible to see the highest truth. We mustn't lie to ourselves. It doesn't help. Trust me, lies are not helping us in a world like this, in a realm like this. Your lies will never help you. Lies will never, ever, ever, ever help you. You see, it may seem like lies are helping you, but they're not. They're making things much worse. There's always going to be a damage that is caused by lies. It might not even seem like your lies are causing damage, but they do. Because you can't beat the truth. Truth, it's gravity, right? What goes up comes down, right? That's what we know so far. If you jump, you're coming down. If you tell yourself lies that, if I jump, I'm going to fly and you're on top of a building, you're going to go down and you're going to die. You see how dangerous lies are? But if you know that, from what I've seen so far, human beings cannot fly. If I jump, I'm falling. Then you're going to protect yourself. So being delusional doesn't help. It's intellectual honesty that's going to help us as people. Can you be delusional and things still go your way? Yes, but that's luck. Some things happen only because of luck, and that's not how you want to live your life. You don't want to base everything on lies, on luck, because luck doesn't always happen. If you use logic every time when you're doing things, then your chances of things actually working in your favor are many than if you're delusional. You see that bird, you know what it's looking for? It's looking for food. It's gonna be eating worms. Worms that seem to be alive, that seem to be self-aware, that seem to want to live. That's life. Like, everything relies on other things to survive. That's life. Whether we want that to be true or not. If I went into the bushes and a lion saw me, I think it will look at me and be like, oh, that's my friend. Or it will look at me like, that's food. Why will the Creator create a world like that? If that Creator is good, why? This is a very important question. A healthy mind wouldn't create this. A world where those who are selfish seem to be thriving, and those who are not thriving be like, yeah, well, those are selfish, they will get their punishment. There's hell waiting for them. What kind of test is this? Is it to make us better as humans, or as whatever we are? You make us better by rewarding us for doing the right things. Testing us doesn't help. It's not about testing us. It should be about making us better. I remember when I had a conversation with I had a conversation with someone about veganism. I was like, he was like, it would be for people to actually become vegan and not have a problem at all. Plants would need, like, if plants were nicer and they didn't feel like there's something that's missing when they are only eating plants. Like, if you benefit from doing the right thing, then you will want to do the right thing. But if you benefit a lot from doing the wrong thing, you want to do the wrong thing. You see the problem? In this room, meat would have tasted bad if this was in a hell room. That's why when someone like who's a vegan, believes that this world was created by something good, be like, really? Oh, human beings just eat meat because of this and that. What about other animals that eat meat? It's because human beings are selfish, so other animals are not selfish. Whatever created this wanted everything to be selfish, basically. It wanted things to be like this. You would be able to benefit a lot from eating apples, bananas, vegetables, and enjoy. When you eat meat, you'd feel the same way that you feel if you ate the food that you totally hate, so you would not eat it. But a lot of people like how meat tastes. They really like how meat tastes. So you see how all messed up the world is. Like, we we benefit a lot from being selfish than being good and being kind. You see? So how can you say that this was created by a healthy mind? It seemed like it was created by something that wanted us to suffer, that wanted to punish us, basically. It doesn't reward us for doing the right things. It rewards us for doing the wrong things. Everyone knows that. A lot of people who are selfish, who are just thinking for themselves and who don't really care a lot about, these are people who actually thrive. It sucks. You find that people who are actually good, kind, they're not even taken seriously. Well, when it comes to politics, you'd see this clearly. Like the politicians that are corrupt, that are breaking all the rules, that don't really care about those that are following them. These are politicians that actually thrive. And the politicians that truly care, that will actually make things better, these are the people that are not thriving. Relationships, the people that you love, be people that are not even benefiting you, that don't even care about you in any way. These be people that be using you. But you find that you're so crazy about this person, especially women. You find that she's so crazy about this guy who genuinely does not care about her. And there's a guy who genuinely cares about her, but she doesn't even look at him twice. That's how we've been programmed. You blame it on nature. You blame it on whatever created nature. So are we going to say this was created by a loving God? A God that wanted things to work out for us. A God that wanted us to be happy. Happiness as you get older becomes more like a mystery. Like it's something that you just can't quite understand. It's like it's unattainable. Like you don't know how to be happy as you get older. It's like you forget how to be happy. Like happiness starts to feel more like a mystery. It starts to feel more like a myth, actually. Like something that never actually did exist. Something that you just can't believe that might have actually existed. People wake up in the morning and do things that they don't want to do every day. Nothing is changing. Some people, I remember someone commented on one of my videos saying, we can't say this world is bad because of some corrupt politicians who are greedy. I'm like, those people are part of this, right? You see, living in a world full of politicians who are corrupt, that's not a bug. It's not like that happened by mistake. It's how it is. It's all by design. It was supposed to be like that. The Gnostics, I like the fact that Gnostics had a feeling a long time ago that something was wrong with this world. During the time when it was not even easy to ask questions because people didn't really have a lot of information. You know, it's much easier to ask questions when you have information. So we're talking about people who knew nothing. Probably didn't know how big the earth was. We probably didn't know that there were people who are living in other continents. Who couldn't communicate with people who live in other parts of the world. Now it's very easy for me to communicate with people who live in other parts of the world. If I wanted to communicate with people who live, I can actually communicate with people who live in every country, basically. I could find people who live in the US, in Canada, and you know what I'm saying? Like, if I wanted to communicate with people from different countries, I'll be able to communicate with people from different countries and can tell me what they know, what they understand about life. But back then it was hard, but Gnostics did, and they made a lot of sense. You can still learn a lot from Gnostic scriptures. Things that actually make sense. But like, how did they even begin to think like that? Isn't it because they did have a feeling that something was wrong? That this world wasn't created by a loving God, or that it doesn't make sense to believe that this world was created by a loving God. Like, I'm not being intellectually honest when I say that this world was created by a loving God, because everything tells me that it wasn't, right? There's this Tonga TikToker. She's from my tribe. We're Tonga. She's famous. She said something very interesting last week. She said, a lot of people don't know this, but on social media, we do not support people because they are right. We support people because we love them. That's it. And she'll give us an example about people that she loves. Like, it doesn't matter if this person is wrong. I'm choosing his side. That's how human beings are. They'll choose the side of the one that they love. So no matter how evil God is, you will choose him, not because he's good, but because you love him. And this will be very easy to see. I gave you this example. When I was young, my mother would always pick my side. And I'll be mad at her when we get home. That you don't know if I wasn't wrong. Because sometimes I was wrong. It's not like I was always right. That's how it is. My mother will pick my side because, well, she loves me. So she's blinded by love. That is why even the people who are horrible, their mothers will still pick their side. Unless the mother is just too damn intellectually honest, so the mother is just had enough, or the mother doesn't love the kid anymore. We always pick people because we love them. So those who will side with the creator of this realm, they just love whatever they've been told the creator is, whether it exists or not. It's like if I remember when we were kids, a friend maybe will tell you that, yo man, at our school there's this girl, like she's so beautiful. He describes her and you end up falling in love with her, even if you don't even know her. You don't know if she exists. You don't know if she's real, but you end up falling in love with her because of how he describes her. So you can fall in love with something that doesn't exist because of how it was presented, or how it was described, not presented, because of how it was actually, how it was described. The same way that politicians lie to people. They promise people all these things that they'll never do. So people end up loving these politicians, but their love isn't really for the politicians themselves, but it's for the ideas that the politicians are presenting that are not even real. This world has shown us enough for us to still believe the world is good. I think we as a collective, we've seen enough to still believe that. To still believe that this world was created by a loving being. I do fully understand that this is the only world that we think we know, the only world that we remember. So holding on to what you know and believing that what you know is good, it just feels like the right thing to do. And you know what? It is. But to not be open enough to understand what something is because it's all that you have, that is not good. Because if it was possible to change the world and make it better, we wouldn't be able to if we already think that it's good. Because if it's good, it means that there's nothing to change. You might say, no, people know that this world is not good. They always want to change something. But no, you're not really aware of how bad things are. You just say, well, yeah, poverty is bad. Let's just try to fix poverty. Slavery is bad. Let's just try to like, no, the problem is much deeper than that. You see, we're dealing with symptoms. We're not dealing with the actual problem. Poverty is a symptom. Maybe there's something wrong with humanity. That is why that even exists. That's why poverty exists. So you'd be like, oh, let's just try to get rid of poverty by giving people money or by giving people jobs. Like, no, you're not getting rid of poverty that way, because poverty is a symptom. It's not the real problem here. It's a symptom. It shows us something about ourselves that we might be refusing to acknowledge. You see? Or about the world itself. Maybe the world, maybe in this realm that we could never get rid of poverty because it's not a bug. But you see how important it is to be intellectually honest, to try to see things as they really are, without lying to ourselves, without telling ourselves the things that make us feel good. Christians will read the Bible and the Bible will tell them how evil God is, like the God of the Bible is. You know, even though that's just, it feels like it's everything, or maybe almost everything is made up. But they are still unable to tell that the God that they are being told that they must praise is actually the bad guy. It's actually the villain, the real villain. It's actually the one who's evil. Like, it should be obvious. The one who has all the power, who's allowing a lot of horrible things to happen, and not only allowing these horrible things to happen, but also making these things happen. Making a deal with some super whatever that is able to manipulate people and not even protect them from this thing. We're not even allowed to see this thing, you know? Like, we're told that the devil exists, he's evil, is this. We're not even allowed to see him. The dude is not, he's going to be exposed in the end. It's like God is playing a game. Like, well, in the end, well, you didn't believe that I exist, so you're going to burn for eternity. You didn't accept my son as your Lord and Savior, so you're going to burn for eternity. Really? It's a game. It's like, yeah, I didn't have a lot to work with. So it doesn't make sense to believe that a God like that is actually good. It doesn't. It makes zero sense to believe that. Like, it's completely illogical to think that. Because the devil is supposed to be more advanced than we are, like more powerful than we are, more intelligent than we are. So how are we going to deal with someone like that? It means the devil can manipulate us in many different ways without us even realizing that. But yet it's our fault that we're being manipulated. We do want to be as smart as he is, but we can't just make ourselves smart. So you see, there are a lot of things that are wrong with just believing whatever we're being told, you know, being given these ideas, and we fall in love with these ideas, and they become our reality. Even if these ideas don't even make sense. There's something wrong with that. I do understand that as humans, even as adults, we're more like children. We do the same things that children do, but then we think we're more serious. The same way that kids used to play, that's the way that we play. We might even think that we're not playing now, but we are. Kids believing in Santa Claus, no evidence that Santa Claus exists. Us as adults believing in some imaginary beings that, you know what I'm saying? It's not just God that they believe, like different beings that we don't have evidence that they exist. Like why are they even hiding from us if they actually do exist? Why do we have to even have this conversation in the first place? Isn't this a sign that they don't? Oh, if they do exist, maybe they don't even care about us, they don't even think about us. Maybe they're not what we think they are. Thank you guys for watching until the end. Like the video, tell me what you think, share the video. It's cold today and I decided to wear a t-shirt. The reason why I was wearing a t-shirt is because the sun is out, but it's July, so it's windy. So that's what's making it cold. Thank you all guys.